Mayor Dixon.
And due to my voice being in the condition that it is today, I have asked our Mayor Pro Tem, Jamie Powell, to take charge of our meeting today. And so he will go forward with that, and I appreciate it, and he'll do a good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, we'll have our opening prayer, and ask Commissioner Stewart, would he pray for us?
Let's pray with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, once again, we thank you. We thank you for allowing us to see another day. We thank you for this experience called life. We thank you for your mercy. We thank you for your grace. We thank you for your love. We thank you for what you tolerate from us, because we know at times we are very disobedient to what you would have us to do. But we do thank you for just all the many blessings that you bestowed upon us. We thank you for watching over us when we don't even know that we're being watched over. Again, Father, we just can't say thank you enough. Often we come into your courts asking, demanding, and not even thanking you for things being just as they are. We thank you for contentment, and we ask that we search our hearts to always remain content while you lead the pathway for us to follow. Father, we ask you that today, asking if anything, that you would come into this meeting. Allow your presence to be known that you are with us as the decisions that we make. And that we search our hearts, that we carefully make decisions. But more importantly, that it's pleasing to you, because we know that it would benefit everyone if it is pleasing to you. Father, we ask you to continue to bless us individually, collectively, bless our homes in which we come. We ask you to bless those that may be sick at this very moment, that needs to be reassured that you are still in control. Those that may be in the nursing homes, those that may be going through bereavement, whatever issues that one may face, that they seem to may be facing alone, that we ask that you help them understand where the true source of power comes from, as well as life. Again, Father, we ask you to come in this meeting, bless each one of us, that we will make decisions that most of all pleasing to you, and that we can all, if nothing else, be able to agree to disagree with whatever we may have to face in our own way of looking at it. All these blessings, and to thank you, and for each and every one in here, I thank you. In your darling Son's name I pray, for the sake of all of us. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Commissioner Stewart. At this time, we will have the approval of the minutes of the October 23rd, 2023 regular meeting, and approval of minutes of the October 17th, 2023 regular joint city-county meeting. I do the first and second.
I move that we approve those as they're stated.
Second. Motion by Mayor Dixon, second by Commissioner McQuarrie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, next, we will go to recognition, and be Justin Spears, Class 1 Certification Water Lab Analyst, and Lee will come and present that.
Thank you, Commission. Here's the certificate he received, and I've got a short thing here to read.
And we have this in our agenda package.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
I just wanted to be sure.
Thank you, Dr. Brandon.
Okay, please join me in recognizing Justin Spears, Class 4A drinking water operator, who took the initiative to satisfy a longtime professional goal to become certified as a Kentucky laboratory analyst. In May, he attended the Water Professional International classes coordinated by Kentucky Water and Wastewater Association's Kentucky Laboratory Analyst Committee. That's a mouthful. Whose mission is to promote the development of precise and accurate data for the protection and interest of water quality laboratories and systems. He received accolades for passing the intensive exam with high marks, and his certificate was mailed to him in October. Joe would just join me in congratulating Justin.
Yeah.
He couldn't be here today.
This is huge for the city, the testing and everything, to have this classification. So Justin couldn't be here, and Lee, I thank you for coming in and making this presentation. So,
Yes, sir.
but if you see Justin, please give them congratulations, especially coming this Friday.
Good.
Thank you.
Contribution for it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, ladies.
Oh, yeah.
We're always proud of our employees. I think we have the best employees in the country.
Absolutely.
Now we will go into general government, and first item of discussion or possible action regarding street closing request for Franklin Simpson Run.
Yes, we received the request for street closure for Small Town Christmas. It's from Franklin Simpson Renaissance. So the proposed motion is closing the street for Franklin Simpson Renaissance for Small Town Christmas on December the 2nd from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on College Street. That's basically in front of the Methodist Church and College, intersection of Kentucky and College Street. So this is an annual event, but they're a little bit more space this time. I think they're, as you can see, they're looking to run like Toyland Express train rides and reopen for the parade. So we're going to kind of use that for amusement for the kids. So that's the motion.
Y'all heard the motion, I need a first and a second.
I make a motion.
I hear a second.
Second. I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Stewart, all in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next will be discussion and possible action regarding Franklin Simpson High School auditorium policy. Ken?
Yes, this is something, as you know, the school is going through a lot of construction, and auditorium is one of them. And this is something that kind of arose to, that they was lacking water pressure at one of the points, and Kenny Massey's here with the city and did several things to look as far as what the requirement. I think 39 PSI was the minimum, and the hydrant right there, basically, that was required was too low to deliver that. But up the street on Yoakley, the pressure and stuff was adequate, but found out through Kenny's research is the 6-inch cast iron line is kind of, what did you call it? The term?
Tuberculation is growth inside.
Tuberculation, and that's a new word. Did you know that word?
I don't think I knew that word.
So it's almost like cholesterol in your arteries is kind of closed down, and basically, from their research, what their recommendation is to increase that, to replace that line and go to an 8-inch. Basically on that flow, gets it to basically the minimum requirement, what they need for the auditorium. But you can see the cost is around $53,000 to replace the line. It would be sometime in the summer. And the alternative would be, if we did nothing, the school would have to purchase a booster pump, and that's $500,000. So what we're asking is kind of in our next budget year that we budget for basically $53,000, replace that line with an 8-inch line. And basically, we're asking the commission to give the mayor approval to send a letter to the state to say this is what our plan is, and that way the state will make approval knowing that the city has a plan to replace it, gets them the minimal pressure that they need for the auditorium. So I know there's a lot of discussion in there, a lot of moving parts. There's a map on page 20 basically showing where the hydrant is, 350 feet. I got Kenny here if there's any questions, but obviously the line is, like I said, it's closed in anyway, so it needs to be replaced, and I think it's the right thing to do. Any questions for Kenny or?
I do, Ken. It's just, when we change this water line from 6 to 8 inches, this particular line is going in, is that, what does that all feed? I know it's to improve, it's definitely gonna improve for the water pressure that's going into the school as a whole.
Well, that line only feeds the fire loop going around the campus.
Okay,
And that's the reason why this line has got growth inside of it, is because the water just sits still.
it just sits still.
It doesn't move or anything, so that's the reason. Going back to the PVC is gonna give them enough flow and residuals. all
So,
the things they need.
Once we install this, what's gonna prevent the water from doing this again? Is it gonna be something happening that the water's gonna be moving regularly to keep it from building up? Is it, what would keep it from doing it
It's
again?
because we're going from cast iron
Oh,
to PVC.
sure, okay, okay. Okay, so if they branch off, is it any possibility they could branch off and use that one? Because if the water line is that big for future growth or something like this, would it be something that might help that as well?
Yes.
If they need to branch off on that too? Because my thought is the 8 big enough?
Right, right.
You know, that's what my thought overall is.
We did ask that question for any future developments, and that's the reason we decided to go to the 8-inch.
Okay, and that should take care of it. Good. Okay.
It was discussed, the 6-inch would be acceptable, but we decided to go 8-inch for any
Yeah, just get
future.
ahead of it.
Yeah,
Good,
So-
okay, okay.
and you can see that there's an email from Superintendent Slosher basically echoing the same thing. So, but basically, from a budget perspective, this would be in the next budget year, just budget for that. So, but we want to make sure that it was, the motion would be to replace that 350 feet line with an 8-inch and have the mayor to send a letter, just to saying this is our plan and commitment. So this is the two things that need to be done to kind of get a buy from the state, to give them approval to go ahead.
We just need a motion for that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, I hear a second. Second. Motion by Commissioner Stewart, second by Commissioner Williams. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next is discussion and possible action regarding professional service agreement with Barge Design Solutions Incorporated. You got that one?
I got that one. I was off last week and they just loaded me up. They put my name on everything. So it gives you an idea of never take off. But anyway, Patrick back here with Barge Design Solutions, we've been talking about this for a while, but 31W Holdings, they wanted to purchase the property by the old drive-in. They have a development plan. And basically, as we know, that Barge Design has done all of our sewer work, calculation, requirements through the years. So basically, they've been working with a long-time partner. But 31W has kind of reached out for them to basically do the kind of capacity study. And Barge has kind of say they were kind of put in an awkward position because they felt like we're the end user and they didn't want to be kind of doing that without having an agreement with the city. So what does that mean? If we approve this agreement, that Barge would go ahead and do the capacity study. Basically, can they discharge the sewer, that we have enough capacity? But then we would get the data. And then once we got the data, looked at it, then we would give the 31W Holdings. It's $9,500, but also talking to, I forget the individual from 31W Holdings, Ben Thornton, that basically on good faith that he would even issue a check to the city, certified check, basically, in holding, just to make sure that we do the study and we're left with the information but not the service. So basically, Patrick is here if there's anything that if I've left out, but to me, it's, I'm kind of excited because Barge done all of our capacity study in the past. This is good information, so they could have went to another engineering service, but I felt pretty confident by going to Barge. They want a good report, and we trust everything that Barge gives us anyway for the future.
Barge, they have so much data and information on our systems and how they're set up.
Yeah.
It only be
Yeah.
seem like the wise, right thing to do.
Yeah, the only thing that we thought was, we got the data, then we wouldn't get the payment, but like I said, you can read the email that, he said he'll send us the check right now up front. We just hold it until we get the information, so the city's not out any money. So basically, if the recommendations approve Barge Design Service Agreement for the sewer capacity study on 6250 Nashville Road for $9,500, and 31W Holding to reimburse the city for the $9,500 once the study's been completed, and have the mayor to sign all necessary documents.
I make a motion that we accept that.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mayor Dixon, second by Commissioner Stewart. Would you like to say anything before we go?
No, he covered really well, thank you.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Next is discussion of possible action regarding community safe room grant. You up again, Quentin?
Yeah. DeJarna Crockett, she's with the Brad, had a discussion a week before last. As you know, that the park was approved for a $600,000 grant for a storm shelter in the park. But she discussed it, said there is more funding and we would be available for another $600,000 grant, and at the location that I have signified on Redbud and the bypass. So basically, what does it mean for the city's 13% matching? This is $78,000. But she said the process for approval is 6 to 12 or 18 months. So I just didn't know what the commission thought. It would be the same size building that's on the park. We would be taking the same type of outlet, overlay, restrooms, everything, so nothing has changed. It would just be exact copy of what's going in the park. So, but I didn't know what the direction the commission would want to go forward with. That's kind of the area that we kind of located, that the city currently owns. There's nothing there.
It's a safe room. It's
Mhm.
another safe room. I know obviously this is some additional spending. I think it would be, I think it would be noble, definitely takes into consideration. But would you just real quick, just reiterate just exactly what a safe room is?
It's for a tornado shelter, basically. Basically, if there is a due weather, they want it to be kind of located where there's a high population around areas that maybe doesn't have a basement or proper storm shelter to go to for the public to gather. This space I think is equate to 200 or 300 people. I don't know exactly, but also it has indoor restrooms, basically, and it can be used for other purposes. It's not just a storm shelter. It could be used for event center, et cetera. So if this was located, obviously we could make it more of a park. We could probably do some things around it, make it more cosmetically, looks like a park, but it's just a centralized meeting point, even for a meeting in the area. But it's designed to be a storm shelter.
You know the specs and what that will stand up to?
No, sir, I do not have.
Is that that vacant lot?
Yes, sir.
It's the vacant lot out here, right off,
Yeah.
when you come off of Springfield Road and come down, it's right
The
on.
perk that we got from Floyd Parkinson, if you remember,
Yeah.
30-plus years ago, Commissioner. I'm sure you remember that one.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So do you need a commitment from us to?
Well, basically, we need to
Go
commit,
forward?
we need basically a commitment that this is something we would do. The paperwork has to be submitted by the 17th. This says basically, there's paperwork for the mayor to sign in the commission, and basically that we be committing to $78,000, basically matching money or not.
So we need a motion to do that?
Kenny, is it the same one, the same type they're building at the park?
Exactly the same
Okay, 'cause I
thing.
do know the specs on it.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I was understanding, that she said it would be the exact same one. So they wouldn't, wouldn't have to be different. So it used to be a ditto in the other location.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, I need a motion and a second.
I make the motion.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Stewart, second by Mayor Dixon, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next, discussion and possible action regarding the award of bid for Dixon Way Construction. You're on the gun again, Kenton.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. This is an undeveloped street. It was probably platted years ago. It was a connector between Pea Ridge and Liberty, and I understand, but Commissioner Stewart, he used to drive through there before it grew up.
I did.
But this is an opportunity to make it a real road. As you know, with the police department being built, it was their recommendation to have that connector to kind of give them more access to get out in that area, which makes sense. We had this go through a bid process. We got one bid. It's for Infinity Pipeline for $103,880. And basically, the bid's been reviewed. We recommend going with bid number 2024-11 for the construction of Dixon Way Infinity Pipeline, and for the amount of $103,880, and have the mayor to sign any and all necessary documents.
One question, Ken. Is this street right here, is it gonna be a public access street where, or will it just be just for authority, some,
It will be public, but it's going to be one way.
okay,
It's not going to be, if you can imagine, coming out of the police department where the police cars is on Pea Ridge, if they go west, that's the one way, they're going west to Liberty. Traffic can't come in backwards, so it's really one-way
so you
access
can
out.
only go from Witt Road to Liberty on this road? Okay,
So anyway, we've talked about to the chief, and we feel like this would be the best way to utilize that road. But yeah, it's a public road, but,
Okay.
But predominantly for emergency.
Yeah,
vehicles,
give them access.
It's so that the police can get to the school or wherever they need to quicker, so.
Yes.
and to let the commission know, we had budgeted for $100,000. So it's 103. I was pretty excited it was 103, as close as I've been in a long, long time. But anyway, but that's the recommendation. And also, talking to representatives from Infinity, and if we get it approved and everything, they said they could have it built and asphalt by the second week of December.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
They say with the warmer temperatures, the asphalt plants are running a little bit further, so that's amazing. Chief, what do you think about that? So anyway,
Pending our approval.
pending your approval, you have all the cards right now.
I think everyone's in agreement, I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Stewart, second by Commissioner Williams, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, next we're gonna move into utilities, and that's discussion and possible action regarding award of bid for phase one sewer rehabilitation. Trent Coffey,
Come on, Drew.
you get a break, Kent.
I know it. This is the big money.
Yes. On November 2nd, at 1, we had a bid opening for the construction and the work for the phase 1 on the sewer improvement. The city received 4 bids. The scope of this work is to replace all existing pipes and part of the service lines in the area from East Cedar over to North Street. This also includes manhole rehab. This area was chosen because it had one of the highest INI results during the flow monitoring study we did last year. As you can see, we had 4 bids. Pipe Works was for about 3.3 million. Portland Utilities was a little over 2.6. Morgan Contracting was at 3 million, and Bobby Luttrell and Sons was at 2.3, or a little bit over 2.3. I would like to recommend awarding the project to Bobby Luttrell and Sons in the amount of $2,301,025. And the recommendation from Barge Design Solutions, the engineers for this project, is attached. It's who they recommended. So I'm needing a motion to award the bid to Bobby Luttrell and have the mayor sign all necessary documents.
Where are they? Where are they?
They're out of Ohio County.
Okay.
They've done work for us before, haven't they?
I don't know on the sewer, since I've been there, they have not, but they are a reputable company.
That's what I said.
I've never heard of them.
I knew
doing
Pat
it
back
first.
here, he called some of the people that they referenced
We
and
verified 2 of the references, responded, I called at least 8, 2 responded very positively. I spoke with the engineers, not with the actual client, but the engineer that worked with them. Their changes are minimal, they came in on schedule, and the only changes they did have on those 2 projects that they both reported were very much needed, and it was during the findings that they had. So I think we can expect positive things from Bobby Luttrell and Sons, but that'll be always open to see.
Were those projects, were they comparable to the size of what we're doing?
Almost 2.8 million. It was, both of them had pipe bursting. That's what I was mainly focused on, was pipe bursting. It's a unique project. We're gonna go burst some pipe. It's a technology can be sensitive. So that's why I wanted to verify those 2. But yes, they're both same caliber.
East Cedar to North Street, would you cut across some private property?
no, most of the sewer lines run in the streets there. From about the IGA all the way down to Court Street, we'll be replacing that line. And then all the way over to North Street. Most of the lines are in the street, and if it is private, we've got easements on those to get to them.
You may want to just kind of remind the I&I, just kind of go back a little bit.
Well,
This-
I brought charts in here, and last year, we did the really expensive I-9 flow monitoring testing, and we had kind of the areas where we had the most and some least, in this area, on that area, because it's old pipe, I think I even brought pictures in here, some half of the pipe missing in some areas and things like that, so that's kind of why this area was picked first. Plus, it feeds our east trunk line, And a lot of our flow from all the new development and all that connects to the east trunk line also. So it should free up a little bit of capacity on that east trunk line also after this project's done.
And for the public, what is I&I?
Inflow and infiltration.
Which means?
Inflow is where rainwater, or whatever, goes straight into the line through manholes, through storm drains, through things like that. Infiltration is where it soaks down in the ground and the pipe's cracked, and that's how it gets in.
So this is a problem in that area?
Yes.
Predominantly, there
Yes.
you go. Just trying to get it out for the public.
Yeah.
When you say I&I, they don't know what that means, and they need to understand it. We got stuff
An eye
going in
for
our
an eye,
pipes.
right?
Yeah. We got stuff going in our pipes, so.
When would this project start?
As soon as it's at the state right now, it gets approved. As soon as it gets approved, they will begin, correct? And it's a 6-month project.
And also, this is a budgeted item, so, this is like phase one. But I just kind of wanted to stress, because here's Barsh again, this is a lot of research and design and testing and measuring, and then going out. So it's very strategic to go in and replace lines where it's needed, instead of kind of shotgun approach. So I just kind of want the public, want the commission to realize this has been planned, and we have other areas to go to. So this is phase one of phase two, and then as we go further, so.
And I just wanted to test Trent to see if he knew what he was talking about.
I'd make a motion that we accept this as the recommended award.
Second.
Motion by Mayor Dixon, second by Commissioner McCreary. All in favor, unless there's any further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Thank you, Trent.
Well, he passed my pop quiz. So there you go.
And next is ordinance. Kathy, you're under the phone.
We've just got one today. We'll have second summary reading today of ordinance number 2023-036, an ordinance of the City of Franklin, Kentucky, repealing certain existing ordinances relating to bonfires and open burning, and enacting new provisions relating to the regulation of open burning in the corporate city limits of the City of Franklin, Kentucky. And I will need a first and second motion for approval.
So moved.
Second. Okay.
We've got a motion by Commissioner Stewart, second by Mayor Dixon, and we'll have a roll call vote. Commissioner Stewart?
Yes.
Commissioner McCrary?
Yes.
Commissioner Powell?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon?
Yes.
Commissioner Williams?
Yes.
And that ordinance passes unanimously. This concludes second summary reading of this ordinance. The full text is available at City Hall at the office of the city clerk during normal business hours, and will be available on the city's website upon passage and publication.
Thank you, Kathy. Excuse me. That concludes our regular meeting. We will now need an executive session for the specific purposes of land acquisition, deliberations on future acquisition or sale of real property by public agency whereby publicity would be likely to affect the value of a specific piece of property to be acquired for public use or sold by public agency. KRS 61.810, subsection 1, subsection B, litigation. Discussion of proposed or pending litigation, KRS 61.810, subsection 1, subsection C. Business discussion between a public agency and representative of a business entity concerning a specific proposal where open discussion would jeopardize the city retention, expansion, or upgrading of the business. KRS 61.810, subsection 1, subsection G, and personnel. Discussions or hearings which might lead to the appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an individual. KRS 61.810, subsection 1, subsection F. I made a first and second motion.
So moved, Mayor.
Pro tem.
Pro tem. Thank you, Scott.
Motion by Commissioner Stewart, second by Mayor Dixon, all in favor. Regular session. City Attorney, I believe you have.
Yes, sir. This is the only thing I have under my reports. As you all are aware, we have been requested by the Kepley family to annex approximately 12 acres on the west side of Scottsville Road. Currently, it's a donut hole in the city, and if it, to do that, I have prepared an ordinance. I'll need 2 sponsors to have first reading of it. Commissioner
Powell and Williams?
Williams and Powell. And with that, if it's okay, I will ask our city clerk to have first reading of that ordinance. Unless you want me to do it.
No, I don't mind.
Okay, thank you.
We'll have first summary reading today of ordinance number 2023-037, an ordinance annexing to the city of Franklin, Kentucky, approximately 11.589 acres located on the north side of Kentucky Highway 100 on Scottsville Road in accordance with the comprehensive plan of annexation. And that concludes first summary reading of this ordinance.
Thank you, Kathy. Anything
I was just gonna say, and I have sent notice to the county in accordance with the statute that requires us to give them the 45-day notice. So, thank you all.
City manager reports?
No, sir.
Commissioner Stewart?
No, thank you.
Commissioner McCleary?
Not so much me, but I just wanted to give our city manager, the motions we made earlier to spend over $1 million on the sewer system. She just summarized for the public our definitive plan for improving our entire sewer system.
Absolutely. This is kind of a long-term discussion that we've had going on for, I know, several years, but 2 years ago, we contracted with Barge Wagner. We did flow monitoring. And what does that mean is we had probably 30 to 50 monitors in the poo, let's just say poo, and through the pipe. So you have a normal poo level when everything's dry, and then when the storm rains and gets kind of crazy, we would have a higher flow. And the higher flow of poo, what does that mean? That means water's getting into our sewer pipe, and it means a higher flow. And so what is that big deal? Well, it fills up our sewer pipe. And that additional capacity is capacity that we can't use because we have to take that in consideration for new developments. If you have 20 or 30% of that rainwater, that's in our calculation. So the main thing is to remove that out of our calculation so we have more capacity. So where does that come in from? It's called I&I, inflow and infiltration. Trent Coffey mentioned that. I&I, if you have your downspouts tied into the sewer system, that is basically inflow. Infiltration is cracks in the sewer line. Old clay pipe. It basically separates, it collapses, roots get into it, and water gets into that. Just for the public, concern is that on a normal, non-rain, dry day, we get about 1.5 million gallons of poo a day at the sewer treatment plant. We can treat 13 million gallons a day, a lot of capacity. But during a rain-heavy event, that clicks up to about 9 million. And everybody says, hold your breath, whatever. But let's just say that. About 10 years ago, we were pegging 12.5 at high. So we went to a 12.5 to 9, basically, on basic manholes, et cetera, but now we have the I&I, basically, old clay pipes. We have, I won't tell you last time, we have 22 subbasins. Those are the subbasins where basically poo goes downhill and you pump it out to a lift station, out to a sewer plant. We have about 22. There's that 24, I can't remember.
Well, the barge has actually redone the subbasins for us, so I think it is 24 now, but we've had 22 for
Okay,
a long time.
so we're growing, we have more. So basically, we have those different subbasins, and we have over 100 miles of sewer pipe. So how do you get started on this? So with all the flow monitoring, we looked at all those high flows of water, and basically during the rain events, we looked at those areas in the city that had high flows. So that's where we go spend our money to repair our sewer lines. So basically we budgeted $5 million to do that, and that's probably a 3 to 5 year project, probably, would you think, that we would basically be rehabbing, building new sewer lines. So if you remove the I&I, we automatically increase our capacity without doing anything to or sewer plant, we have the capacity. So this is going to be an ongoing thing. So a lot of people get kind of confused because you spend $5 million, but it's all on the ground, but you don't see it. But this is something that I'm very proud of the commission allowing for this, understand this, that we're building for the future. And a lot of times it's, okay, what are you going to do when this gets over with? Well, it may take 20 years by the time we go all the way around. By the time we get all, we'll start over.
So, to summarize it, the city has a definitive plan attacking the sewer systems.
Yes, sir.
And how much per year budget roughly?
Well, for right now, for like the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to be using that $5 million. So it'll take us to 3 to 5 years, and then we'll have to budget again.
Thank you,
So-
sir, I appreciate it.
So I guess you had a shorter answer than what I gave you. I'm
I
sorry.
just want the public to know that we have a definitive plan.
Okay. And like I said, it's never over with. Talking about infrastructure, you never get done with it. It's just starting over. And,
It's a continual
okay.
process.
Mayor Dixon?
I would just like to say that we want to congratulate Mrs. Marie Kennedy on 100 years of life. We presented her with a proclamation last Sunday, and she was so appreciative. But Mrs. Kennedy, for 100 years, her mind is wonderful. I wish my mind was as sharp as hers. But we want to, on the behalf of the city, we want to congratulate again Mrs. Marie Kennedy on 100 years of life, which will be her actual birthday on 11/23/23. So congratulations, Ms. Marie, on behalf of the city of Franklin.
Commissioner Williams?
No, I don't have anything.
I'd like to send my condolences out to the Rogers House family, to the Purdue family, and to the Stiles and the Harrington family, and the Neely family, and all the others that lost loved ones this last week, the last 2 weeks. We just need to continue to pray and uplift those families. And with that, I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Powell, second by Commissioner